Hi friends, we have a new feature called auto linking or automatic linking, which means you can work on your digital planner from start to finish and it will automatically link the pages to the tabs you have set here in the menu. So for example, you can have tabs like you see here with the index calendar January until December, to do and grid, and then on the right side it will show you to which page it has linked the tab, and then you can also click on them to check if the tab actually is linked to the correct page. So here, if I want to check if the January tab is linked to the correct page, I can also click on it and it will redirect to the connected linked page. So here it's opening January, which means that this page, this tab is linked correctly. Then I can also check if February is linked correctly by clicking here below, which it is. So now the February page is showing. I can go to March, check April, I can also check May, and so on. And then I can also move the pages up and down and it will not mess up with the links. So if you now want to add additional pages below April or January, then you can do that and it will also update it here on the site. Now to better explain you how it works, let's maybe create a new planner so you can see and learn more about the auto linking. I now have a new project open and I will now add a digital planner background. Let me randomly choose maybe this one right here, and for the spine type I'll choose this one. I'll bring in the paper so you can see more from more of the tabs. Now let's add the first few tabs and I'll create a planner with just 12 months. Just so the tutorial doesn't get too long, I just want to show you how the linking works. I have 4 tabs here and on the right side maybe just add 2 tabs like this. Let me quickly adjust the corner radius so it looks prettier. And now for the left side, let me just call it index, Jan, Feb, and March. Just have 3 months here, and on the right side, notes and grid. I'll also choose a nicer font. 1 second, let me choose a font. Okay, and we are set. Now, usually I would say to don't worry about the tabs and make them in the end of the planner when the planner is finished. However, from now on, with the new feature for the automatic linking, I recommend you to set up the tabs in the beginning so it can connect the pages while you're working on your planner and adding pages. So very important. Please, from now on, set up all the tabs in the beginning and this will make everything much easier. So here I am on page 1. I only have 1 page open. These are all the tabs for the digital planner. And next, we will have to check out here the tabs and detect what type they are. So there are 2 types of tabs. The first type of tabs are the monthly tabs. So if you have any tabs which are monthly tabs, then you want it to be set to detect month. If you have a tab called index, then that's not a month, that would be considered a text. So same for the right side here, the notes tab is not a month, that would be a text. And the same for the grid, that would also be a text. If you have an additional tab called, for example, finance, then that would be a text as well. So very important is to distinguish between text and month. This is all you need to do on the very first page. Once you have this one set up, from there everything else will be automatic. Okay, so the very first page, maybe let's create a monthly calendar on this page. I'll go to template starter and then monthly, and then I'll make it a January page. Maybe let me add this template right here. Okay, I'll just choose a new font for this planner to all make it nicer and prettier, as well as a new color like this. All right. So this is the January page, and now we can click on duplicate page. And if we now check at the tabs, you see that the January and February page, those are now linked. We can now duplicate and change date again. And we see that now also the March tab is linked. So the March tab is linked to page 3. Okay. And we can also, for example, change the name or completely remove the name or randomly type something else in here like this. Maybe let me completely remove the name like this. And you see it will still detect the page. So basically, if it's a detect month, it's not detecting any names here on the sides, but it's actually looking at the planner itself and checking if it's a monthly page like this one here, and then it will link it to that page. This is very different from the detect text. Here for the index page, it's very important that we type in the word index. Now that we have index typed in, it will detect the text here and link it to index. If we change the text here and maybe add 2 X's and something here like this, then it will not find that page anymore. So very important is that for any other page you want to be linked to the tabs, for example, all your notes pages or all your grid pages, those pages will need to have the correct name. So if I now rename the index page, for example, to grid, then you see now on the right page, it has linked the grid page to page 1 right here. So now that you understand more about the pages and the page names, let me quickly rename the pages just so to keep everything tidy and clear. So I renamed it back to January, February, and March. And now we can also add an additional index page. So I'll just click on duplicate page here. And this now will be the index page, and I will have to call this page index. And then here under template and digital planner, I can add a very simple index page, maybe this one here. And then this one, let's call it notes, and this would be grid. Just a very simple one for demonstration. And then now you will see that the index is now linked to page 4. And if I now move it up, the index page to position 1, it still is linked to the index page, and now it's currently at page 1 like this. And to check the links, we can now click on the text below January and see if it's directing to the correct page. We can also click on Feb and March, then index, and this is a quick way to check if all links are correct. Now we can also work on the notes pages, so let's click on duplicate page. And now let's make this page a notes page. I'll just quickly insert maybe a grid page like this, then remove the header. And if I don't give this page any name here, if I don't give it any name, then it will also not be able to detect it here on the right side on the tabs. So you see here on the grid, no page has been found. But if I now give it a name, grid, like this, it will now detect it as a grid page. And then I can duplicate this page and add a few more grid pages. And then here now, and then let's duplicate again. And now let's make it notes pages. I'll rename it to notes, and here we can maybe add lined pages, for example. Here, increase the amount of rows, copy, paste it to the other side. This would be my notes pages. Then I can also duplicate it. Okay, so now I have 12 pages in total. So now that we have created all pages, we can now check here if everything looks right. If we click on notes, it goes to notes. If we click on grid, it goes to grid. If we click on index, it goes to index. January, February, and March. Now, one last thing I wanted to mention is that, for example, if you have completed your planner but you choose to add an additional tab, so for example on the right side, maybe after your planner is finished, you want to have an additional tab called My Contacts, for like this, then it will not update this tab to all the other pages. You see that when I now click on the other pages, the My Contacts tab will not show up. So in this scenario, what I would need to do is I would first need to link this page. So for example, I can call it My Contacts like this, and then also have it detect as a text, and now it is linked. And then from here on, you will have to click on Apply Tabs and Hyperlinks. So you have to have both menus selected. And now you will need to apply this additional tab to all the other pages like this. So in this case, it will need to run through each page and then reapply the newly added tab, My Contacts. So if we now check on the index page, we now have this new tab called My Contacts. Okay, and then everything is still linked correctly. And then from here, you can just click on Save Export and then export your planner. This is how the finished planner looks like. This is January, February, March, notes, grid, My Contacts, and here the index page. So this was about the automatic linking. If you have any questions, feel free to always message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I will try to respond to your questions as quickly as I can. Bye!